Welcome to the FX Terminal Weekly Market Review. Here's what moved the markets last week and what's ahead. Last week's market action was shaped by inflation trends, labor market developments, central bank signals, and shifting risk sentiment across global assets. Starting with inflation, Canada's CPI showed easing headline pressure, but core inflation remained firm, sending mixed signals for the Canadian dollar. In the UK, inflation printed slightly above expectations, offering modest support to sterling despite softer labor market indicators. At the same time, the US economy continued to show resilience. Final GDP was revised higher, jobless claims remained low, and core PCE came in line with expectations, reinforcing a steady Federal Reserve outlook and keeping policy expectations relatively stable. Elsewhere, Australia delivered a strong employment report, with job growth exceeding expectations and the unemployment rate falling, boosting the Aussie dollar. In Japan, markets experienced increased volatility after the Bank of Japan left policy unchanged, with investors closely watching any hints of future policy normalization. On the business activity side, PMI data improved across Germany and the UK, supporting the euro and pound, while US PMIs delivered more mixed signals, pointing to uneven momentum in growth. As macro themes played out, precious metals became the standout performers. Gold surged to fresh all-time highs, opening the week with a gap above $5,100, and is now up roughly 10%, supported by safe haven demand and strong momentum. Silver outperformed even further, rallying approximately 36% to trade near $109, reflecting aggressive inflows and heightened speculative interest. In contrast, cryptocurrency markets remained under pressure, with risk-off sentiment dominating. Bitcoin continued its downward momentum, closing the week near $87,000, while Ethereum ended around $2,800, highlighting continued weakness across digital assets. Looking ahead to this week, market focus shifts toward inflation releases, central bank decisions, and key U.S. labor and price data, setting the stage for heightened volatility. Australia's CPI will be closely monitored for signals on future RBA policy direction. Canada takes center stage with the Bank of Canada rate decision, policy statement, press conference, and GDP release, which could drive notable CAD volatility. The Federal Reserve's FOMC rate decision, statement, and press conference will be the primary catalyst for US dollar direction and broader global risk sentiment. In addition, markets will track US unemployment claims and producer price index data for further insight into inflation trends and economic momentum. Overall, markets remain highly volatile, driven by persistent risk-off sentiment and rising geopolitical tensions, keeping investors cautious across FX, metals, crypto, and broader risk assets. Stay tuned with the FX Terminal for live updates and concise market coverage. See you in next week's review.